Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Bryony and I'm one half of the Indecisive Readers. Today I'm here to do a video I've had an idea for a few months. Basically a while ago I saw Brittany from Book Ramblings kind of review some of the books she'd read a while ago, but not necessarily review the books but review the ratings for those books. Basically she realised that sometimes she rates books higher depending on her mood, and so I thought, I wonder if I do the same. So what I'm going to do is just scroll through the books I've read in 2020. I have read 114, so I'm just going to try and say yes or no to whether or not I would change those ratings. If I would change it, I may give like a little kind of summary, but I'll be here forever if I talk about my rating for every single book. What I'm going to do is put my Goodreads read list here and go through them. You will see all the kind of not ratings I've given. I should probably tell you what my ratings are. 1 is probably a DNF or like absolutely hated it. 2 is there are a lot of bad things but maybe there are a couple of redeeming ones. 3 is a really hard one to explain. I think it can be average. I think it can be good with some bad points. I think it can be enjoyable but not amazing. So a lot of my books are 3 stars. I have quite a high average rating, but I think that's because I only tend to read books I like and I don't see a problem with that. Why would I pick up books I don't like? She says knowing that this video starts with a lot of books she doesn't like. 4 stars is like amazing but not like amazing, and 5 stars is just like blew my mind. I will think about it for months afterwards, or I just really enjoyed it. So I start with a load of romances because reasons. So the first one is Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. I rated it 4 stars, would keep this rating. Then Fairy Tales for Fearless Girls by Anita Guarnieri, rated it 5 stars, would probably keep this. Then Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging by Louise Renison, rated it 2 stars, would maintain this. Then The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, I rated it 2 stars. Yeah, would agree. Then Love from A to Z by S.K. Ali. I rated this 5 stars. Originally I would possibly drop it down to 4, but I don't think I'm going to go on to Goodreads and actually change any of my ratings. Then I have Scott Pilgrim's Precious Life and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World by Brian Lee O'Malley. Rated both of them 3 stars, would continue with this. Then we have Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman, rated it 5 stars, would agree with this. Then we have Nevergreener by Ruth Jones. I rated it 3 stars. Would agree. I hated it but also loved it, or thought it was effectively done, so would agree with 3 stars. Then we have Mixtape by Jane Sanderson. I rated it 2 stars, would actually probably drop it down to 1. Then we have It Only Happens in the Movies by Holly Bourne, rated it 5 stars, would agree. Then Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, I rated 3 stars, would agree. Princess Ever After by Katie O'Neill, rated it 4 stars, would still keep that. Then The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, I rated it 5 stars, would continue to rate it 5 stars. Then Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman, I rated it 5 stars, would still agree. Then Scott Pilgrim and the Infinite Sadness and Scott Pilgrim Gets It Together by Brian Lee O'Malley, rated both of them 3 stars again and would continue with this. Then we get to February. So the first one I read was Sadie by Courtney Summers. I rated it 4 stars, would still agree. Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I rated it 4 stars, would still agree. Then Postscript by Cecilia Ahern. Rated 4 stars, would still agree. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was disappointed, so I rated it 3 stars, but good in parts but not overall. And then The Five by Hallie Rubenhold. Rated it 5 stars, would still agree. This Lovely City by Louise Hare, rated 4 stars, would still agree. What Magic Is This by Holly Bourne. I originally actually rated it 4 stars but dropped it down because I knew I was only rating it on Holly Bourne, so I did originally change my rating in the first place. Then Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, rated it 3 stars, would still agree. The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White, I rated 4 stars, would possibly drop it down to 3 because I enjoyed it a lot more than everyone else and I don't necessarily know why I really enjoyed it, so would potentially need to reread it but don't care enough about it to reread it. Then The Frog Princess by Edie Baker, would rate 3 stars still. Daughters of Henri by Rennie Kerr Mayo is a really difficult one to rate. I've rated it 3 stars because there were parts that I really enjoyed but the ending was so frustrating and it just wasn't written well. But I had such high expectations and I think that might be what's kind of skewed my rating, but 3 stars does seem right, but I just also would want to rate it 2 and 4 in places. Then Physic by Angie Sage, I rated 5 stars, would still rate it 5 stars. Then The Diviners by Libba Bray, I rated 3 stars, but it would possibly go up on a reread, but this read was 3 stars. Then Nimona by Noelle Stevenson was 4 stars, would still continue that. Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins was also 5 stars, would still agree. The Mercies by Kieran Millward Hargrave, I would still agree was a 3-star read, as was Breakfast at Tiffany's by Truman Capote, although I don't remember anything about it and I felt like it was too short to actually rate. But 3 stars is like, I don't know what to think. Go for a rating. It's the middle ground. Then The Rosy Result by Graham Simpson. I don't remember anything about it, but I must have enjoyed it to rate it 4 stars. I don't disagree with it, but I can't necessarily agree. Then The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang had its good points, but I just don't care for it, so I rated it 3 stars. Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls by Elena Favilli, I rated 5 stars, and I would agree, I thought it was a very good reading experience and a good book. Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa, would agree with a 3-star rating. Quest by Angie Sage, I rated 4 stars, would still agree. How Hard Can Love Be by Holly Bourne, I would still agree with my 5-star rating. Then Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, I would agree with my 4-star rating. Meat Market by Juno Dawson, would still agree with my 5-star rating. It blew my mind. Arusha and the End of Time by Roshani Chotsky had its good points but also its low points, so 3 stars seems right. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, 5-star rating was definitely right. Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James, I would still agree with my 4-star rating. Who Let the Gods Out by Maz Evans, my 3-star rating is right based on my reading experience. I didn't love the audiobook, but I did enjoy the story. A Sprinkle of Sorcery by Michelle Harrison, I would agree with my 4-star rating. Siren by Angie Sage, I've been kind of wavering between 5 and 4 stars. It's on 5 stars because of nostalgia, but like maybe it's actually 4 stars, but like I want to keep it 5 stars because it was like my favourite one in the series, I thought, but maybe not. Then we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I rated it 3 stars. I have many thoughts about it, but 3 stars most accurately describes them, I think. Then we have Invisible Women by Caroline Criadad Perez. 4 stars seems right, as does 3 stars for The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. Matilda, Empress Queen Warrior by Catherine Hanley, and The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics, and Hear the World Entire and Goddess of the Hunt by Anwen Kaya Hayward and Shelby Eileen. I would agree with 4, 5, 3 and 3 because my thoughts really haven't changed. Apart from The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics, I was wavering on 4.5 stars, but I've obviously rated it up and don't mind that I've done that. Then The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant, I've rated it 4 stars. It's more accurately probably actually a 3-star. There were parts of it I enjoyed, but like it was a very slow beginning. Then A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I did initially, in the like moment I finished it, rate it 5 stars, but like a day later I was like, no, it's actually 4 stars, and I'd still agree with that. The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary was a reread this year, and I continued to keep it 5 stars and will continue that now. The Devouring Grey by Kristen Lynn Herman. I'm surprised by this one because I thought I would have rated it 4 stars, but I would agree with 3 stars, otherwise I would have said I'd like rate it down. Son of the Shadows. I should have DNF'd it about halfway through, and if that was the case I would have rated it 1 star, but because I carried on and it did get better, I rated it 2 stars. 3 stars for The Deep by River Solomon, I would agree with. On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden, I would agree with my 5-star rating. I think it's my favourite graphic novel. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I would agree with a 3-star rating because I don't think I had the whole reading experience, but I wanted to rate it, so like 3 stars is average. Then Sandman Slim by Richard Kadri. I don't remember anything about it, so I should possibly drop it down to 3 stars, but I enjoyed it when I read it, so I'm going to keep it as 4 stars. Then The Ship of Shadows by Maria Kutsnia. I would agree with my 5-star rating. Ash by Melinda Lowe, would agree with 3 stars. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, would agree with 5 stars. 10 Things My Cat Hates About You by Lottie Lucas. I don't know why I rated it 2 stars. I don't think that there was actually anything redeeming about it, so it should possibly go down to 1 star. It's Not About the Burqa by Mariam Khan. I rated it 4 stars, would agree. You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I'm surprised I have only rated this one 4 stars. I thought I rated it 5. This book is Anti-Racist by Tiffany Jewell. Would agree with a 5-star rating. I don't always like rating kind of non-fiction books, especially about kind of a lived experience, but the illustrations and stuff made this just absolutely 5 stars. Then Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is why I don't like ratings, because I hated this book. I really detested reading it, but also it was really readable. Like, it was easy to read. So I rated it 1 star. I don't know whether it could go up to 2 stars, but like, I don't care about it enough to rate it up. And also everyone else rates it 5 stars, so like, they need some grounding. They should have some 1-star reviews. Then The Raven Boys by Maggie C. Varta. Would agree with 3 stars because the audiobook again. I think there are some books where I've read them via audiobook that when I've done that, the audiobook has kind of skewed my rating, and I will see this consistently throughout. So like, maybe if I have to reread them, but like a lot of them I won't. Then House of Salt and Stories by Erin A. Craig. Rated it 3 stars, had its highs and also had its lows. Seven Devils by Laura Lamb and Elizabeth May. Would agree with a 4-star rating. Mad, Bad and Dangerous to Know by Samira Ahmed. I would agree with a 3-star rating. Who I Was With Her by Nita Tyndall. Would agree with a 3-star rating. I would not agree with a 3-star rating for Dreamland by Nancy Blue. I assumed I rated this one 2 stars. I really didn't enjoy it. Then Tigers in the Tower by Julia Goldin. I rated it 3 stars. If it hadn't been a NetGalley arc, I may not have carried on with it though. Then Athena's Choice by Adam Boostrom. I really didn't like it, but there were interesting concepts, hence why it's 2 stars. Then The Beast and the Bethany by Jack Meggitt Phillips. I rated 5 stars. I did very much enjoy. Then The Saturday Morning Park Run by Jules Wake. I'm very torn about this one. I remember rating it 5 stars, but I don't really remember a lot about it. I feel like any other time I may have rated it 3 stars, but I needed to read it when I did, and I enjoyed reading it when I did, and so 5 stars seems accurate. I may possibly could drop it down to 4, but I don't mind. Then The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Rated it 3 stars. Wish I could rate it higher, but this reading experience I couldn't. Then The Black Flamingo by Dean Atter. Rated it 5 stars. Would agree. Pretending by Holly Bourne. I've rated it 5 stars, but I think that's my Holly Bourne bias coming out. I think I should possibly rate it 4, but I did enjoy it and I think it's very well done. Legend Born by Tracy Dion. I did originally have as 4 stars, but I have now bumped it up. I think it was incredible and I haven't stopped thinking about it. Then A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I rated it 4 stars, may drop it down to 3. Period by Emma Barnett. I would still agree with my 3-star rating. Then A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. Would agree with my 4-star rating, as I would for Wilder Girls with my 3-star rating. The Wolf and the Water by Josie Jaffrey. Possibly rated what I did because it was an arc, but also like there were good parts, but like the bits I didn't like, I really didn't like. But 3 stars seems fair. Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. I rated 4 stars. Don't know whether I would have rated higher had I read the first book in this series earlier on, but agree with 4 stars for this reading experience. Then The Familiars by Stacey Halls. I rated 3 stars, would still agree. Monstrous Heart by Claire McKenna. I didn't enjoy, but would still agree with my 2-star rating. Come Close by Sappho. Would agree with the 3-star rating. Every Heart a Doorway by Sean M. Maguire. Would possibly rate 4 rather than 5 stars, but the things I really liked about it haven't changed, and so I'm biased and will continue to rate it 5 stars. Then Cries War by Nina Varela. Would still agree with my 3-star rating, as I would with my 3-star rating for Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Mariko Tamaki. Then I rated The Radium Girls by Kate Moore 5 stars. I adored it. I would definitely agree. Then I read Dark by Angie Sage. I have rated this one 4 stars. I think it might be more accurate if I actually rate it 3, but like, nostalgia has made me rate it 4, and that's fine. Then I read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde and Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Rated both of them 3 stars, would still agree with that. Then All the Bad Apples by Moira Fowley Doyle. Rated it 4 stars, would probably be on the 3.5 side of 4 stars, but did enjoy it. Raybearer by Jordan Ifweko. I rated 4 stars. The thing I predicted would make it 5 stars wasn't as prominent as I thought it would be, which is why 4 stars seems right. Then A History of the World with a Woman put back in. I want to rate it higher because it was so comprehensive, it was such a good book, but my reading experience was just slow and stilted, and therefore 3 stars seems right. Then Oversea Under Stone by Suzanne Cooper, rated it 3 stars, would still agree. Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray, rated it 5 stars, would still agree, that's like my favourite one in the series. Then The Pale Dreamer, I rated it 5 stars when I read it in January and would still continue to rate it 5 stars now, and have continued to rate it 5 stars now. Then The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, I originally rated it 3 stars last year, then I rated it 4 stars in October, and I rated it 5 stars now. So obviously it does change with my reading experience. I think it's one of those books that the more you read, the more you get from it. Then The King of Crows by Libba Bray, rated it 4 stars. Would still agree. I just remembered I did read The Priory of the Orange Tree earlier in the year, still rate it 5 stars, and so that hasn't changed. Currently reading it again, which is why it isn't on this list. Then I have just finished The Empire of Gold, which isn't on here because it's a NetGalley arc and I haven't quite caught up yet. Rated it 4 stars, would still agree. But oh my god, I have read so many books and I don't know whether I'm surprised by how many I change and how many I wouldn't, because honestly I can't remember. But yeah, let me know if you ever go back through your Goodreads and change them, and whether you think I should. Let me know if it's common practice. Let me know what your like kind of average rating is, because I'm interested to know. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by leaving a comment or liking it. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. We have a lot of kind of end of year content coming your way. This is just the start of it. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!